Building the right air units in Supremacy WW3 can completely decide a game. Air power allows you to kill units without taking many casualties, control how wars are fought, and punish players who don't understand counters. The opposite is also true. Building the wrong air units, or using them badly, is one of the fastest ways to lose planes and throw games away. In this video, I'm breaking down the best air units to build, why they're strong, when they're worth building, and the mistakes you need to avoid so you actually get value out of your Air Force. First up, one of the best air units to build Air Superiority Fighters, also known as ASF. Air Superiority Fighters are one of the most important air units in the game. If you don't have fighters, and your enemy does, you are playing at a massive disadvantage. Fighters counter helicopters, strike fighters, naval patrol aircraft, other fighters, and pretty much every plane in the game. Winning air-to-air combat means the enemy cannot use air power safely, which automatically makes all your ground and naval units stronger. If you dominate the air, enemy air units simply can't attack your troops. What makes fighters so overpowered is how early they matter. Early game, most players rely heavily on helicopters and strike fighters. A small number of fighters can completely shut that down and wipe out the enemy's entire air force. Even if you don't plan to play aggressively with air, fighters are mandatory defensively. Without them, your air units die for free and your ground stacks get bombed with no counter. These units are non-negotiable in early and mid-game. Personally, I go for air superiority fighters in every single game. Next up, we have gunship helicopters. Gunship helicopters are one of the strongest early game units in Supremacy WW3. They are cheap, very fast to mobilize, and extremely effective against infantry and light ground units. Gunships shine early because most players are spamming infantry and light armor. Gunships delete these units efficiently and let you expand quickly. On top of that, you can mobilize a lot of them very fast since they only require a level 1 airbase, making them perfect for early rushing. The main counter to gunships is not SAMs, but enemy fighters. This is why gunships should almost always be paired with air superiority fighters. Fighters clear the skies, gunships wipe ground units, and infantry follows behind to capture territory. You should also watch out for railguns and standard anti-air. However, you can partially counter anti-air damage by using the patrol technique and patrolling just outside the anti-air radius. This allows you to deal damage without fully engaging the anti-air. If you want help learning this technique or want personalized advice for your specific map, I recommend joining the RNG Discord server. You can get feedback from me or professional players within minutes. The link will be in the description. Personally, I like using gunships when land is close and cities are packed together, like in Europe or Southeast Asia. Helicopters have shorter range, which makes them harder to use in regions with massive provinces like North Asia or South America. In those cases, strike fighters become the better option. Strike fighters are strong, but they are often misused. They're more expensive than gunships and take longer to get online, which makes them weaker as an early rush unit. However, they have major advantages. Strike fighters have long range, higher speed, and take far less damage than helicopters. They are extremely versatile for this reason. What's also great about strike fighters is that they deal solid damage to planes, meaning they can partially act like air superiority fighters, just much weaker. Strike fighters perform best in early mid-game once you already control the air. They are excellent at hitting armored units, artillery, and isolated stacks. However, once mobile SAMs start appearing, strike fighters become useless if misused. The biggest mistake players make is sending strike fighters directly into mobile SAM or railgun stacks and wondering why everything dies. Used correctly though, strike fighters are a very strong unit and can massively improve your KD ratio. Personally, I love going strike fighters in most games. Next up, we have stealth strike fighters. Stealth strike fighters are essentially strike fighters with stealth. They're one of the strongest mid to late game air units in Supremacy WW3. Stealth means your enemy cannot detect you unless they have stealth revealing units, such as max level mobile SAMs or radars, which is very rare to see outside of very late game. Because they are stealth, you can fly into enemy airspace without declaring war, hit anti-air units without fully engaging them, and bypass defenses entirely. Stealth strike fighters are especially powerful against experienced players who rely heavily on air defense and positioning. They let you punish exposed stacks and remove key units with almost no reaction time. For example, If an enemy has a stack of mobile SAMs hiding mid-map, you can fly over them without triggering full engagement. Say you have 3 stacks of 5 stealth strike fighters, and each stack deals around 50 damage. That's 150 damage total. You can delete those SAMs without taking heavy losses. Once the enemy's anti-air is gone, the rest of their army becomes free food for your air force. Just don't do this against max SAMs. These fighters are expensive and research heavy, so make sure your economy can support them. Personally, I go for stealth strike fighters every game and start mass producing them as soon as I research them, usually around day 16. Next up, stealth air superiority fighters. These are the same as standard air superiority fighters, but stealth. They have all the same stealth advantages. You can enter enemy homeland without declaring war, stay undetected until engagement, and completely surprise opponents. You can literally fly into enemy territory, kill all their planes and helicopters without them seeing anything, then leave. Half the time they accuse you of hacking in chat. Stealth air superiority fighters give you absolute air dominance. They are fast, deal huge damage, and are extremely fun to use. You only need to watch out for stealth detecting units like maxed mobile SAMs or max radars. But again, these are rare until very late game. This is one of the best air units in the entire game. Personally, I build this unit in every single game. Next up, naval patrol aircraft. Naval patrol aircraft are extremely strong in naval scenarios. They are great at hunting ships, detecting submarines, and supporting your navy from the air. They have massive range and work well against most ships and submarines, except frigates. Never send them near frigates. Also, never let enemy fighters near them, because air superiority fighters will wipe them out instantly. This is why you always need fighter protection when using naval patrol aircraft. Used correctly, they can completely change naval outcomes. I personally like building them even as landlocked countries because of the massive range and scouting power they provide. Next up, the elite airstrike officer. This is one of the most overpowered air units in the game. It's basically a strike fighter on steroids. It massively boosts damage, defense, speed, fuel efficiency, refuel time, and healing for the entire stack. It also does more damage than standard strike fighters. However, it is pay to win. If you decide to buy or upgrade it, use the online web shop since it's cheaper than the app. If you want to support the channel, use creator code CWR in the shop. It helps a lot. Early game, pair this officer with 4 strike fighters. Later on, once you unlock stealth strike fighters, pair it with those instead. Make sure to research this officer to max level, because it eventually unlocks stealth. A max stealth officer stack is completely broken. The speed, damage, fuel efficiency, and survivability of this stack is insane. Finally, we have the standard fixed-wing veteran officer. This officer is similar to the elite airstrike officer but weaker. It is free to play, but higher tiers require a higher account rank. It acts more like an air superiority fighter, dealing strong damage to planes and giving solid boosts to its stack. I usually pair this officer with air superiority fighters and hunt down enemy air units with it. Personally, I build this unit in every game. The most overpowered air setups I use are a maxed elite airstrike officer paired with 4 stealth strike fighters and a maxed fixed-wing veteran officer paired with 4 stealth air superiority fighters. These 2 stacks alone can win games. Just keep spamming stealth jets. Some honorable mentions that almost made the list are elite attack helicopters, AWACS, and elite helicopter units. Now let's talk about common mistakes you must avoid with Air Force. The biggest mistake is building air units without air superiority fighters. Fighters are mandatory for protection and air dominance. Another massive mistake is attacking mobile SAMs directly with planes. Never do this unless you are using advanced techniques like stealth units or baiting anti-air. Many players also overcommit to air early and neglect economy. Air units are powerful, but expensive. If you can't replace losses, you will fall behind. What I like to do is build a hospital in my capital and rotate damaged planes there to heal, especially when paired with an elite airstrike officer, since healing becomes extremely fast. If you manage air properly, it will win you games. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything in the comments. And if you want more guides like this, make sure to subscribe. Good luck.